It's an ordinary morning in Washington, D.C. in the garden of the White House. A slight vibration is felt in the morning. Secret Service agents find piles of fresh soil and a wheelbarrow among the grass decking. An agent shouts over the radio, "President Trump, emergency." There's a tunnel under the White House. Trump is captured in the garden in his morning robe, with a shovel in his hand. He has the expression of a child caught in the act on his face. Agents immediately take Trump to the courtroom of the White House. Trump is sitting in the defendant's chair in the magnificent courtroom of the White House, still in his bathrobe and with a shovel in his hand. There is an expression on his face that is both confused and slightly agitated. The judge is sitting at the lectern in his black robe, giving Trump a stern look. Next to him, on the table, a Secret Service agent keeps a soil sample and a tunnel map as evidence. There are also several journalists and spectators in the hall. Everyone is eagerly waiting for Trump's defense. Excitement is at its peak in the courtroom. The judge turned to Trump and said, "Why did you dig this tunnel?" he asks. Trump, still in his bathrobe, said, "I wanted to air out the bottom of the White House a little." He says, at that time, a Secret Service agent puts a flashlight, a helmet, and a boot full of soil on the table. Suddenly, the door opens and a hologram of former President Abraham Lincoln enters as a witness. "I also thought about digging a tunnel at the time, but I gave up," the Lincoln hologram says. A wave of astonishment and light laughter spreads through the hall. The atmosphere is getting very lively in the courtroom. Trump, still in his bathrobe and with slightly scattered hair, is sitting in the defendant's chair. On the table, there is a flashlight, a helmet, a boot full of soil and a tunnel map. Next to the judge, a Secret Service agent and a hologram of Abraham Lincoln are standing. In the hall, journalists take photos with flashes. Among the spectators there is also a civil engineer and a decoy mascot. In the background, morning light is filtering in through the large windows of the White House. The atmosphere in the courtroom is very mixed. Trump is still sitting in the defendant's chair, with his robe on. On the table there is a flashlight, a helmet, a boot full of soil, a tunnel map and a toy mole. Next to the judge stands a Secret Service agent and a hologram of Abraham Lincoln. In the hall, journalists are taking photos with flashes. Among the spectators there is a civil engineer, a decoy mascot and an archaeologist. In the background, morning light is filtering in through the large windows of the White House. In one corner, a tunnel digging team workers in hard hats and overalls is waiting with shovels in their hands. Suddenly, a slight tremor comes from underground and a small collapse occurs on the floor of the courtroom. Everyone jumps to their feet in surprise. There is complete chaos in the courtroom. Trump is still in his robe, sitting in the defendant's chair. On the table there is a flashlight, a helmet, boots full of dirt, a tunnel map and a toy mole. Next to the judge stands a Secret Service agent and a hologram of Abraham Lincoln. Journalists take photos with flashes. Among the spectators there are a civil engineer, a mole decoy, an archaeologist, and a tunnel digging team. Suddenly there is a big collapse on the floor of the courtroom and a real mole appears from underground. The tunnel digging team applauds the mole. Trump stands up with a surprised but triumphant expression and says, "You see, this tunnel doesn't just belong to me," he says. The judge drops the case with a smile. Everyone is clapping with laughter in the hall. Journalists are preparing the headlines. A hologram of Abraham Lincoln disappears, saying, "Sometimes the best way is to go under the ground." Trump poses in his bathrobe and with a shovel in his hand, walking towards the garden of the White House, with the tunnel team and the mole behind him.